Alcoholism and addiction are experienced in different ways by different people, but the feelings and repercussions associated with the diseases have thorough commonalities amongst individuals. One consistent element is that alcoholism and addiction are chronic relapsing disorders with significant morbidity and mortality. In other words, if you don't deal with it, you die. You cause endless suffering for yourself and for those witnessing your slow and painful death, helplessly awaiting an end to the anguish. And whether the end is successfully defeating the disease and living a vigilant life of spirituality and recovery, or passing out of the land of the living and succumbing to the demons within, the waiting game for active addiction to end is mentally and physically strenuous, emotionally demanding, and almost unbearably burdensome. Amongst the seemingly limitless roadblocks to overcoming addiction is fear. Fear affects almost every living being on this earth, to the point that if one does not have fear, they're considered a psychopath. Fear is one of the predominant driving forces of mankind, but it's particularly troublesome for addicts and alcoholics. Fear keeps you trapped in addiction. Fear of leaving behind the comfortable and familiar misery despite knowing it's destroying your life. Fear of facing life's challenges without a chemical crutch. Fear of the unknown, fear of loss, fear of love, fear of failure, and sometimes even a fear of success. And fears tend to escalate when left unchecked, extending into more and more avenues of life, leading to further restrictions on activities and eventually culminating in total immobilization because of excruciating anxiety. Anxiety tends to obsess about why you should be afraid, creating an inescapable thought loop of everything that could go wrong and every way you could be harmed. But a situation doesn't become more dangerous because you keep thinking about it. It's still just a thought, and thoughts themselves are harmless unless the thinker gives them power. Fear is associated with our survival, so it's given special accord in our mind. It doesn't help that fear has been monetized by the media, broadcasting a constant flow of the negative realities of life into our minds with news stories and headlines on murder and mayhem. And we allow such things to take charge of our minds, handing the reins over to the newspapers, the magazines, the TV broadcasts, conversations, and chance remarks from friends and strangers. Fear is constantly advertised, and it's one of life's most successful salesmen. And while fear is convincing, it doesn't make it right. The only way to get out of the fear is to face it, to not hide from reality, and to learn about the roots of said fear and figure out how to manage it effectively. Repressing the fear just strengthens it over time, and numbing the fear with alcohol and drugs is like dousing the flames of fear in gasoline. People often spend so much time and energy pushing away the thoughts and fears because society's been conditioned to believe that contemplating bad thoughts is wrong. And while some minor qualms may go away when ignored, most bad thoughts have a sticky quality to them. But delay, repression, and numbing with drink and drugs makes it much harder to release the old fearful energies when you finally decide that they must be confronted. Instead of ruminating and worrying about the things that make you feel fear, you need to go directly to the feeling and move that energy from your soul. You gotta become aware that you have a choice to either hold on to that fear or to let it go. Investigate the fear, meditate and reflect on it. Journal and write on it, talk to other people in recovery about it, and find gratitude in the situation despite the distressful nature of it. It boils down to taking action and doing whatever it takes to get that fear out. And once we deal with that fear and no longer resist it, we can let it go. The energy that was tied up in the fear is relinquished, and it becomes available to shine forth as the energy of love. And with love, you can find stillness and peace at any time. You can bring your mind back to the moment and bring your attention and awareness back to the peace of living free from fear. So deal with your fears and get after it. Get out there, ask for help, work out, learn new skills, make genuine connections with people, live with purpose and passion. God didn't put us on this earth to sit alone in fear, worrying about the reality of life. He put us on this earth to love.